Hello guys, welcome to another video. Now for this video I'm just going to do a short review of a movie, a horror movie that I watched, rented it out on Amazon Prime last night, and that movie is called No Such Thing as Monsters. Now, a little bit of background about the movie before I go into the story. Now, No Such Thing as Monsters is a 2009 horror flick directed by Stuart Stanton. It stars Angel Jafre, I hope I pronounced that right, David McRae, Matthew Clark, Georgia Crisfield Smith, and Rebecca Fuchuna. Now, the basic storyline follows this young couple, David and Mary, who go on a romantic weekend in the vast Australian bush, and they end up encountering a psychopathic backwoods family. So that's the basic premise of the story. Now, at first, when David suggests to Mary about this little break, she's a little bit reluctant because she suffers from she suffers from claustrophobia, and she's got this false arm. The implication being that a phobia led to some incidents in the past where she lost her arm. So so she got that. She's got the arm, the false arm, and she's got this sort of as I say, this phobia, claustrophobia. But eventually, she sort of agrees to David's David's request, and off they go in the trailer. Now, it's not too long before this other trailer pulls up, and it turns out that it's this psychotic family. Well, you don't really know that at first, because initially when they introduce themselves, they seem very genial, very friendly and that, and they're only a group of young people, and one of the sisters is there's a strange aspect about her, because she's clad from head to toe in white, and she just got a little bit of her face showing, and one of the sisters explains to the young couple that she was disfigured in an accident and that, so you've got that. She sort of looks the odd one out, obviously being all clad in white and that, but getting on to the story, guys, it started off good and that, I thought I was in for a good thrill ride, because as they introduce themselves, this backwoods family, they invite the couple over, and they sit around the campfire, and one of the girls of the backwoods family suggests telling campfire tales, creepy stories. And the young couple say, great, they're up for it now. So she starts reciting this kind of a horror story, something about this girl in the house and that, something in the house. I won't give away too much of the story in case you want to check it out for yourself. And so basically, they start showing a darker side to that, to the personalities, this family, and then things go from bad to worse, basically. They abduct the couple, and I say all hell breaks loose and that. Typical psychopathic family in the woods, really. Nothing great about it. Now, I'm going to broach the subject now of something that's you probably know if you've been watching my videos. It's an absolute anathema to me, and that is when they make a stupid decision in a horror movie. Now, I don't need to say, once anybody makes a stupid decision or does something ridiculous in a horror movie, my attention span shortens, and with it, my credibility, any credibility I initially had, from the film, goes right out the window. And boy, did it happen in this, and that primarily on the part of the female protagonist, Mary. What she does, she gets abducted. Well, this family abducted, and they chain her up and that, and when she managed to get to the window and looks out, and she sees she's by a house, the trailer's by a house and that, which belongs to the family, and she eventually does break away. She gets out and that, she extricates herself. But what does she do? She goes back into the house. Well, she goes into the house with she gets this hatchet, and she goes to the house knowing full well there's a gang of psychopaths in the house. And she, what does she think she is? Superwoman. She goes back into the house. She could have, once she gets herself away, she gets the chain off her leg. She could have ran into the woods or gone to, ran to the nearest police station. They always do it in horror movies. They get away. They've got a golden opportunity to run away, as you would do in real life. And run for the police, or just run as fast as your legs would carry it. No. She decides to play the bravado Miss Wonder Woman, Supergirl, and goes into the house, right into the lion's den. A purpose, you could say, is to see if she can free her boyfriend, who's also been captured. He's been taken prisoner as, I suppose, a kind of love slave, really. Because when the two protagonists, they first meet the family, meet the psychopathic family. There's a one of the girls she's got long red hair, and she's kind of a model. She's showing off a figure, and when David's in the woods, he's a bit of a photographer. He's photographing things. She comes up to him and says, "Would you like to photograph me?" And she starts posing and that, And then the implication is, why not get a full shot of me? I haven't got this body forever. So the implication is, David is coaxed into photographing her in the nude. Yeah, but you don't actually see that. So when they come back and that, the girl says, "What have you been doing?" Was it his girlfriend? "Oh, just taking photographs." And she said, "Can I see them?" "Oh, the battery went flat." So he made some sort of excuse in that. So he didn't want his girlfriend to see. So the implication is he's photographed this red-headed girl in the nude. Yeah. And then, of course, things start going downhill to take a very dark turn. Yeah. They've got them as a kind of they've got them like love slaves, really. Because the girl gets raped as well. There's a young man amongst this family, with longish hair and that, and he comes into the trailer and he rapes the girl, Mary. Yeah. So they've got them like love slaves, really, chained up and that, just sort of taking advantage of them, sort of carnally, if you will. Yeah. But again, another thing I didn't like about the movie, the main girl, Mary, she seems to spend most of the movie either popping a pill or playing chess with the disfigured girl, and constantly emptying the buckets. I didn't like it, guys. But I'm not going to say too much more about it in case you want to see it for yourself. That's just my opinion. I must stress, I'm not saying don't rent it out or don't buy. That is just my opinion. Yous might like it. Yeah, yous might like it. But as I say, it started off all right. The two protagonists on the holiday in the Australian outback and that, lovely scenery and that, And I thought it was in for a real good roller coaster ride and that, especially with the family, they started off very friendly and that, but of course it turned out to be superficial, And but the girl, it was very good, she sort of befriends this backwoods family, and they say "Oh well, this is our spot." When you first meet the couple, this is really our spot. But we don't mind. You can you can stay here with your trailer and join us and that. You sort of come over and that, as I say, and talk about tell ghost stories around the campfire. They seem very, very genial at first, as I say, but then once they start displaying their darker side, things really take a bad turn. But Mary, she starts off really convincing as the girl suffering from she's cowering and that, and she's she doesn't like open spaces and that, and you really start feeling for her, and then she goes and spoil it all by doing something stupid like going into the house, a house full of a psychotic gang of criminals armed with just a small axe. Horror tropes. They're there all the time. Okay, but as I say, I wasn't too keen on it, guys. You might like it, but I'll give it this. I did have the colour was lovely. The Australian outback. Oh yeah, we watched it and I rented it in HD for just 99p off Amazon Prime. And I'm glad I did, actually, because I could have paid $7.99 for that and been totally disappointed. That's what we usually do every weekend. Rent a movie off Amazon Prime to see what it's like, and then of course if we don't like it, I don't bother buying it for my collection. But there's a missed opportunity with this one, guys. There really was. No such thing as monsters. Thought it was going to be a real good movie and that, and it's just a typical run-of-the-mill psycho family abducts innocent campers in the woods. Nothing great about it, and I say the stupid decisions, And even when the girl breaks into the house and tries to rescue her boyfriend, what does she do? She starts sort of like acting slushy over him. Like any moment the family could burst in, which of course I won't give away too much of it, but of course something very much like that happens in the movie. Yeah, but yeah, some of the ridiculous decisions they made and that, this is what a lot of these horror movies suffer from. Stupid. They start off great initially, they really capture your attention, you're engrossed, and then they go and spoil it all by doing something stupid. Yeah. Right, okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give No Such Thing as Monsters maybe 4 out of 10. But that's just for the nice cinematography and lovely colour and that, yeah. But yeah, it's not a movie I'll be revisiting in a hurry. But as I say, yous might like it. That's just my opinion. Yeah, I did expect something more, from this movie, guys, and unfortunately, I didn't guess it. Yeah, so there you go. So I think I'm being quite generous here, because I could have given it no points. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So have you seen this movie? What did you think of it? Leave a comments down below. I'd be very interested to hear. I mean, I suppose it's a kind of a Marmite movie, really. You either like it or you loathe it. And need I say, I am in the latter category. Yeah. Right, okay. All right then. So that's my review of No Such Thing as Monsters from 2019. And as I say, it was a very, very disappointing movie. And I think there was a missed opportunity. And even the girl, like the girl that was disfigured, Mary was trying to. She was saying to her, I know you're not like them. I know you're not like them. I mean, as if Mary had a detail. Not all right. They were dodgy the way they were acting, but she jumped. I think she jumped to the conclusion a bit too quickly with the girl trying to take it into her confidence, because after all, she was one of the family. This disfigured girl, all in white, and she seemed to be this girl, as I say, with the white suit on and that. She spoke like a child as well, and she had like a doll. But she, for all Mary knew, she could be really, really sort of like protective of her family. And I think Mary was a bit too quick trying to take it into her confidence. She said, I know you're not like them. I know you're a good person. I mean, what did she know about her? She'd only just met her, just camped by them. What did she know about the family? What did she know about the background? What did she know? How did she know how they were going to behave and that, yeah. And this, as I say, the girl, the disfigured girl, she seemed to be torn between actually helping Mary and supporting her family. So you've got that aspect as well, the ambiguity with the disfigured girl. Yeah. But to conclude, guys, yeah, as I say, I wasn't too keen on it, yeah. But as I say, yous might like it, yeah. Okay, well, that's it. That's about it for now. I'll talk to you all again soon.